today we get a little taste of Italy because we're making Struffoli. It's a Neapolitan treat that takes little balls of fried dough, dips them in honey, and then forms them into shapes. Now it's very festive. It's often served during Christmas or Easter. And Erin's here. She's going to show us how to make this adorable treat.
This is a true showstopper, Bridget. During development, we really relied on Annie Petito, a coworker, and her aunt, who make this every year for decades. And they've really gave us their insight on how to streamline it and how to make it approachable so that anybody can make it at home.
Great.
So we're gonna start with 10 ounces of all-purpose unbleached flour, and I'm gonna add 1 3/4 ounces of sugar. So this is a very lightly sweetened cookie dough that we're making because it's gonna be coated with honey in a little bit.
Right.
I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of table salt because this is a very sweet dessert. We really wanna balance the sweetness by adding this salt. And we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder to give it a little leavener.
Okay.
Just gonna whisk this together. And we're gonna move on to our eggs.
Easy so far.
Easy so far. So now I'm gonna add 3 whole eggs that I'm gonna lightly whisk. Okay, so 3 eggs, lightly beaten. And next comes butter. One of the ways that we streamline this recipe is that most often butter is creamed into the dough. Okay. And that adds little air bubbles and helps it to kind of rise. We found that it really wasn't important for this recipe. Plus we have the baking powder in there and we have the eggs. So we're gonna let those do the lifting, and we're just gonna add 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Next comes 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now all I do is just stir this together to form a dough. Our dough has come together, and now I'm going to knead it for about 30 seconds. That is where we want to take it. So this is the part that can be very complicated.
Okay.
So a lot of recipes have you take the dough, roll it into a bunch of different ropes, and then cut, a bunch of different like little pieces. It takes quite a bit of time. So this is one of those streamlining tips that Annie and her aunt shared with us. I'm just gonna cut the dough into 6 pieces that are about 3 ounces each, but I'm gonna eyeball it. You wanna take a piece?
Take a piece of dough.
Absolutely.
All right.
Take the piece of dough and press it into a 3 by 5 inch rectangle. And sometimes this dough can be a little tacky, and if it ever is tacky, you can just lightly spray your hands with vegetable oil and also your work surface. Now we're gonna cut it into 6 equal strips. First, I like to divide it in half and then cut each half in 2/3. You can score it. Sometimes it can be tough to kind of see, so I like to score it.
Oh, these are going to be teeny tiny.
Teeny tiny cookies, yes.
Score.
So now we're gonna cut them crosswise into 10 strips. So the reverse, I'm gonna cut this in half. So I usually like to eyeball it. I lop off 1/5 of it, and then I cut the rest in half, and then each half quarters.
Now what happens if I don't get it perfectly?
It is quite all right.
Okay.
This is a very forgiving recipe.
Oh, love it.
Now we're just gonna pick up all these little balls and sprinkle them onto the parchment paper, just so that they're not touching. And you don't need to roll them into balls. So we're just gonna finish this up, and at the end of the day, we're gonna have 360 dough balls. It really doesn't take much time at all.
Especially with 2 people.
Okay, it is fry time, Bridget.
Yes.
All right, so I have 2 quarts of vegetable oil in this Dutch oven. You need a Dutch oven that's at least 6 quart in size, and I have it heated to 350 degrees. We have all of our little cookies, all of our little mini dough balls. We wanna fry them in batches. We're gonna fry about 25 to 30 per batch. Now I'm just gonna lower these guys into the oil and just kind of let them break apart a little bit. And I'm gonna stir continuously so that they get evenly golden brown.
Okay.
All right, it's gonna take about 3 minutes.
Look how pretty they are.
Aren't you mesmerized? Yeah. So these are perfection.
Ah.
I'm just gonna transfer them to my baking pan. So it's also important that we maintain the oil temperature of 350 to 360.
Okay.
So I'm always taking the temperature as we go through each batch, and I'm just gonna continue to cook the rest of these. And then I'm gonna let them cool completely.
Cool completely.
Yep.
Are you ready to take your cooking to the next level? Introducing the complete America's Test Kitchen TV show cookbook, featuring every recipe from every episode of America's Test Kitchen. That's thousands of recipes. That texture is unbelievable. Reviews
Gadgets you didn't know you needed.
and tips.
Yes, there's some terrible choices, but there are also some amazing choices.
We've spilled all of our secrets and included our insider notes alongside each recipe.
Plus, there's a handy shopping guide so you know exactly what to grab when you're at the store.
And of course, it makes an excellent gift. Get your copy today at americastestkitchen.com.
Okay, so we have all of our little tiny fried struffoli.
Okay.
So I have 1 cup of honey, in a large saucepan, and I'm just gonna heat this over medium-low heat until bubbles start to break through the surface and it starts to get very hot. And this is a very important step here, Bridget. Many people just take honey and they coat their Struffoli, but that honey just kind of slips off. And you really, when you eat it, it's very little honey. So we want that honey to cling. In order to do so, we're gonna heat the honey and reduce it a little bit. You can see a bunch of bubbles that are breaking the surface.
Right.
And I'm gonna take it off the heat now, okay? So now goes the Struffoli. And I'm just gonna stir so that the honey in the bottom coats the Struffoli all over. Keep them moving. So now we're gonna go back over medium-low heat.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cook this for about 4 minutes. And what that's gonna do is the honey's gonna continue to cook down, tighten up a little bit. It's gonna cling to our Struffoli.
Okay.
And it's also gonna taste a little bit more intensely honey-like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so it has been about 4 minutes, Bridget. And I think you can tell that the Struffoli are really nicely coated. That 4 minutes, again, is very important. We're gonna let this cool for about 5 minutes. This is another very important step. So these have cooled for about 5 minutes. So this is our serving platter, and I'm gonna just spray this lightly with a little bit of vegetable spray.
Okay.
And this is an important step. So now I'm just gonna take a towel, a paper towel, and wipe most of it off. I'm gonna leave a thin coating so that later on everything releases nicely.
Gotcha,
All
okay.
right. And we're gonna turn this into the shape of a wreath. So I'm gonna use this glass, and I'm just gonna take my oiled paper towel.
Shush it up. All right.
Okay. We're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of nonpareils. And as I mentioned earlier, that 5-minute cool is very important. Had I added these to the hot Struffoli, all the color would have washed off and it would have like created this rainbow effect and really muddied up our Struffoli. So we don't want that. So that's why the 5-minute cool is very important. I'm just gonna stir this so that the nonpareils are evenly distributed and coat the Struffoli.
Okay.
Next, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of candied orange peel. And this is gonna add a nice citrus kind of essence to our whole Struffoli, and it's also gonna add a nice chew.
Okay,
All right, so
great.
it's finely chopped. And I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of sliced almonds that we toasted earlier.
Okay.
This is gonna add a nice nutty flavor and a crunch.
This is the fun part.
This is where you can start to really envision what it's gonna look like. It's really colorful, beautiful, and yeah, don't wanna overstir it, because again, I don't want the color to wash off of the nonpareils.
Okay.
Everything's evenly distributed. Now, building time. I'm just gonna start scooping out our Struffoli around the glass, and you're gonna see a wreath start to take shape.
Ooh.
So they might scatter a little bit, but this is a forgiving recipe. And once I have all the Struffoli on the platter, I can just kind of move them around before it cools.
I can see it forming.
Yeah. So this is a wreath. I like natural looking wreaths, so it does not have to be perfect at all. So beautiful, colorful. I want more nonpareils.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful? And last but not least, I have 8 candied cherries here. So we're just gonna kind of put these on randomly. So we're gonna now let this cool for about 20 minutes. It's almost too nice to eat.
It's adorable.
Beautiful. So this is cooled for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And now I can remove the glass.
Nice.
Would you like to try?
I would love to.
Okay. Dive right in, Bridget.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I got a couple of clingers. Oh, you did too.
It's very floral.
Really floral.
And you get a little orange citrusy flavor.
All right, I'm going to go for a glacé cherry.
I am too.
Oh, this is how I get my fruit.
I'm gonna add a nut. This is your fruit for the day. 1 cherry per serving.
The little balls of fried dough are so tender. They still have that nice crust on the outside.
And the honey just really comes through and it's not sticking to my teeth. It's reduced just enough to hold everything together.
You promised a showstopper.
Did I deliver?
Every single time you deliver. You know you want to make the Struffoli, and it starts with an easy dough made from melted butter. Portion and cut the dough into tiny little squares. And after frying the dough, cook them right in the honey. Of course, don't forget to shape it into a wreath and decorate with lots of colorful toppings. So from America's Test Kitchen, the fun, festive, and fabulous Struffoli.
Would you like some more?
Yes.
I'm going in.
We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
And if you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, head over to americastestkitchen.com and get a free all-access trial membership.
While you're there, you can sign up for our free email newsletters and download our app.
With unlimited access to over 14,000 of our Test Kitchen recipes and 8,000 product reviews, you'll have everything you need to cook and learn.
So I ask, what are you waiting for?
Let's make something great together.